Hey everybody, I'm using my new software Wave.video. I think I'm loving it. So if you're just now jumping on, if you're watching live, say hello, give me a little love in the comments. And I also have a new microphone, so let me know if you can hear me. Okay, I'm just going to look down here and see. All right, looks like at least it's streaming someplace, so that's that's good news. Not for sure if it's streaming to all of the right places, but here we are. Super excited to have a little chat with you today. Today's it's kind of a mini class, if you want to call it that, but it's the 2 keys to scale your business. Now, I don't know where you're at with your business, if you're just getting 1 or 2 clients, or you're to the point that you see that, yes, you can definitely make a business out of this, and you're looking to scale to bring in more revenue and to do it consistently. Well, guess what? There's 2 keys. Quite simple. So I'm just going to jump in here. Let me see if this will work. Look at that. I love it. All right. So, and I think, just give me a second here. I'm going to hide my caption. I've got all these little buttons and bells and everything to play around with. So this is kind of fun. I'm not for sure. Can I move this? Oh, I can even move my little head. All right. So let's just jump in here. It's not rocket science. In business, there's 2 keys that you need to understand to be able to grow and truly scale your business, right? So that's what I'm going to talk about with you today. You've probably heard the saying before that success leaves clues. Absolutely. And franchise businesses is the key to how you can find those success markers, right? So when you're trying to grow your business, the key is you want to grow it easily and you want to be able to scale it. And I've been telling people with the new program that I'm going to talk about briefly at the end, it is possible to scale to 10 to 20,000 a month. Now, and if that number is kind of mind-boggling, it shouldn't be, because if you've got a good product, which I'm going to talk about here in a second, and you're solving a problem, it's going to be easy peasy for you. Now, if you're following along and you just want me to cut to the chase, here it is. I'm going to give you what I call the speed date answer. All right. I keep looking over here because that's where my little clicker button is. The speed date answer to everything that I'm going to talk about today is 1, you have to identify the real problem and build your business around that problem. The second is you have to create systems. You have to have this backbone, this framework of your business to support running this. So that's the speed date answer. All right. Now, so let's dig in. The first one here, the problem. All right. Now, this is probably a no-brainer, but the whole reason that there's a business is because it's solving somebody's problem. Something's come up and people need a solution to it. So that's what business is all about. It just solves problems. But, it provides that solution, right? What I like to tell people, though, is, are you solving the bleeding neck problem? So the bleeding neck problem, and if you have children, you might have told them, unless your finger's cut off or unless the blood's gushing, don't be running in here every 5 minutes, right? So is the problem such an urgent problem, such a thorn in their side, that they're going to do whatever it takes to solve that problem. If it's a little thing, then they may or may not come closer to you. So does this make sense? If you're watching live, let me know that it makes sense to you. Let me give you another good example. Have you ever taken a road trip with, again, your children or an old lady like me who has a very weak bladder? All right. So you're driving down the highway and my husband says, hey, there's a rest stop. Do you need it? And it's like, no, I'm good. Thanks. We drive on. And then in about 10 minutes, what happens? All of a sudden that cup of coffee that I just drank has gone through me and I need the bathroom. Quick, or the kids are in the back seat crying. All of a sudden they need the bathroom. So what happens? You speed up a little bit. You're checking the signs. How much further till the exit? Where can we go to get the solution to the problem? So that is an illustration, right, of a bleeding neck problem. A lot of times entrepreneurs, when they're first in their business and they're trying to kind of feel their way around, they're saying, well, what do you think? Should I offer this as a solution? The real question is, what is the problem? And do you have the skill set to solve that problem for them? And is it a problem that people are willing to spend money on? There's some like business models out there, and I'm just going to put it out there for you. The money return on solving the problem is very low. So does it make sense to put a lot of time and effort into it if you can never, get the return on your money? So the real issue is identifying what the problem is, not what you have to offer. And remember how I said that success leaves clues? We all want to offer like a unique perspective, but don't be so unique that no one's ever heard of it, because guess what? That's not the bleeding neck problem. People aren't going to come running to you because it's the problem that they're looking to solve. So again, let me know in the comments if that's making sense for you. Now, here's the other thing is, when we're coming up with the solution for people, a lot of times people think, well, who's going to pay money for this? Because they could Google it or they could go on YouTube. But again, guess what? We're flooded with information, but people will pay for time. If they can save time, they definitely will pay for transformation. They'll pay for shortcuts. They'll pay to have somebody else curate that information. Just like in college, I'm sure I never did it, but I'm sure that there were people like, hey, can I just pay you to get your cliff notes of that lecture so I don't have to sit through it? All right. So people will pay for these things. Again, it all goes back to that problem that you're solving. Right? So loud and clear. All right. One other thing is, excuse me, make sure that the problem that you're solving, the solution that you're offering, is what they want, not what they need. Now, when you start working with people, you as the expert, you as the genius, you can see the big picture, and if they're really going to get to the end transformation, that maybe they've got 4 steps in there, and step 4 is the major one. But all they can see is that initial little step. So if you're preaching over here, telling them that that's what they need to do, that's how you can help them, they're not going to hear you. They don't want it. They want what they think is the problem, and they want that little problem solved. Right? Isn't he the cutest little guy there? So the key is identify what they think their problem is, and then create your offer around that. Because if you don't, it's just like in this image. they're going to say, no, 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 I can't hear you. I can't hear you. So if you're putting something out there and nobody's responding, look at what is it that you're offering them, because you must not be speaking directly to the problem that they think that they're having. Now let's talk about the second key. And the second key is all about systems. Now, if you're in my Facebook group, or if you've been around me, you know that I joke and say systems is my middle name. But the bottom line is, when you're building a business, you need a strong foundation that is going to support what you're building in your business. And if you don't have that foundation, you will never be able to scale, because there's only so many hours in the day. And I don't know about you, but I don't really want to be working 20 hours a day. I don't want to be robbing my family of all of that time if I could create a system to shortcut all of that. And I like to say that one of the clues that we can investigate closer is to look at franchises, or to look at a business model that's repeatable over and over again. Now, I love my Starbucks. I don't live close to a Starbucks. I have to drive over an hour just to get to one now. But many fond memories. When you look at what Starbucks has done, let's just take a quick minute. When you pull up, even from the logo, the simple logo, you know exactly what to expect. When you pull in, when you walk in, everything is curated to the point that it's like coming home, right? You know, the storefront may be a little different, but it's like coming home. They greet you in a certain way, you know, the routine. When they take your order, they have recipes so that everything is manufactured just like it should be. And you enjoy this wonderful, awesome experience. It's not just about the coffee, it's about the experience. That's why you're paying them $5, $8, right? Not just for a 50-cent cup of coffee. So they don't leave anything to chance. When they built that business system, everything is curated and connected to a system. And that's the only way that they can scale. It's the only way that any business can scale. So the secret of scaling is having these systems in place. When you're building your system, you want to make sure that you have a system to onboard all of your clients, a system to create leads on demands, a system on how you're going to nurture your clients, a system on how you're going to offboard your clients, a system on how you're going to create your social media marketing posts. Everything in your business should have a system. And once you get those systems nailed down, it truly is easy to start scaling. Okay, because it's going to be like this well-oiled machine. And most importantly, when you get all of these systems set up, you truly are going to be delivering that wow experience. Just like when people step into Starbucks, they know what to expect. That's why they're willing to pay the money. So when you have these systems built for your business, they walk in and they can really enjoy that experience. So just a quick recap here. If you're ready to scale your business, you need two keys. You need to hone in on the problem that you're solving and build your solution around that. And you need systems in place so that it will become like this well-oiled machine. I've been starting to talk to a few people lately. You might have heard me mention this, my group program, I call it the 4 diamond framework to 20K months. And basically it will package everything you need to go from this one-to-one kind of burnt out model to creating your system group program that will make it super easy to scale to those 20,000 months so that you can build that life of freedom without sacrificing your family time, your health, or your sanity, right? And I don't know if you can see this very well, but these are the 4 pillars or the 4 diamonds. And each one of these little tagged sections here are the individual pieces and systems that we will build together in your business. So I like to call these the 4 pillars, the 4 diamonds. We have the lead gen framework so that you can get leads on tap. Then we build the ATM machine. And the ATM machine is this nurturing machine to bring people into your world so that they become your clients and they're ready to just throw their checkbook at you. And then from there, we have systems in place so that you can create what we call the raving fans, the top 100. And from that fan base, that really is what's going to jumpstart your business to the next level. And then the final piece, the final diamond, is what I call my CEO and scaling secrets. This is where we dig into all of those systems for the back office systems, and get you ready to bring on a team, a VA, so that you can truly start becoming the CEO and the visionary, and other people are starting to do the other things in your business. So if this is something that, if you're ready to start scaling your business, let me move my head over here. The program actually starts March 1st. I'm still taking enrollments for that. If you're ready to scale, if you're ready to build a model that is going to stand up, it's going to actually grow and give you a scalable and sellable business, then now's the time. Jump in with this, the next phase of the program. So if you're interested, reach out to me through DM and let's have a little chat, and I'll see if I think this is a good fit for you. Again, we start March 1st. Would love to have you join me. Okay. Still playing with my buttons here. Okay, so that's it for today. The 2 keys that you need to scale your business. Hope this was beneficial for you. Let me know in the comments if you watch on the replay. If you see this on YouTube, then make sure to hit that button so you'll subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you for your time. I loved hanging out with you, and I'll see you next time. Take care.